Hey Project MoshPit, how's it going? I'm Nubagator, and I'm bringing you a Black and White 2 OU game against omfugaa. My team is pretty much standard fare. It's just stuff I wanted to try, really, at the start of Black and White 2, and it's working out pretty well. It's a fun team to use. On the other hand, he's using specially based hyper offense, and it looks to be pretty scary. He's got some unorthodox stuff in there like Jinx and Raikou, which are going to work out pretty effectively, I think. Jinx in particular is able to sweep stuff that's going to trouble most specially based sweepers, such as specially defensive Jirachi or Chansey, and allow better setup with Keldeo, Raikou, and the like. So that's pretty much it. His team looks very, very offensive, and another thing we can probably assume is that his Latios is going to be choice scarfed, because if it's not, he's in a dangerous position if Dragonite or Haxorus gets up a Dragon Dance. So coming into this match, I'm going to assume his Latios is scarfed, and I'm going to look out for Raikou since my team doesn't handle it well at all. I need to keep Jirachi pretty healthy for this match, so let's just get started. So I decided to lead with Mamoswine, knowing it takes on most of his team fairly well. However, he leads with Politoed, and knowing I need to sponge a water hit, he's going to switch out to his Tornadus, expecting a Moongus or Keldeo to come in. And I do just that. I bring in Keldeo, not trying to give Raikou free setup on a Moongus. However, I'm just going to flat switch to specially defensive Jirachi, because I really can't take risks like that early game when I do have a perfectly good Tornadus counter in rain. However, this is going to allow him to bring in Raikou, and since I don't have Body Slam, I can't break his subs, and therefore he can keep Calm Minding ad infinitum until he reaches +6 and proceeds to sweep through most of my team. So I need to bring in Mamoswine now, and at the time I was unaware that Thick Fat and Ice Shard are apparently legal together now, so I don't have Thick Fat, and that's going to hurt because his Hidden Power Ices are going to be doing a lot, and I need to just pretty much stay in and break his subs so that he doesn't have one up when I bring something into revenge. In any case, I decided to set up Stealth Rock here, knowing it would probably be my only chance to, and that it would hopefully come in very handy later in the game. He does have regenerative abilities on both of his Stealth Rock weak Pokemon, but nonetheless, Stealth Rock is the best move in the game. In any case, he's just going to keep subbing down, and I'm going to start going for Ice Shard and Earthquake respectively, trying to throw him off in case he wants to switch into Keldeo or something of the sort, and save a Raikou for later when it might have more sweeping potential. In any case, though, with a Calm Mind up, I figure he's going to try to kill me off here, so I just go for Ice Shard and bring him down to 25% after leftovers. So, it's not looking too bad, but it's not looking too good either, because I did just lose Mamoswine, which would have been really, really helpful in this match. However, I did manage to set up Stealth Rock, and now Tornadus is going to be able to come in and revenge the Raikou. He doesn't really have any switch-ins because his team is very offensive, so he was pretty much sacking it there. Now, I'm not going to U-turn out because I know he is probably Choice Scarfed, and I want to see what move he's going to lock himself into, so I'm just going to go to Jirachi. Turns out to be Thunder, and I'm pretty sure he's going to want to save his Latios to check my Tornadus later. So I'm going to attempt to U-turn out and get some momentum here, but he just decides to go for the pure damage on my Jirachi, knowing that most of his team needs to muscle through it. And unfortunately for me, he's going to get a crit para, which is pretty devastating. The paralysis is fine because it prevents Jinx from lovely kissing, but the crit is really, really unfortunate for me. In any case, we know he's locked into Thunder, and I'm just going to be able to safely spore him with a Moongus. And I know he's going to try to take advantage of that and bring in either Jinx or Tornadus. I'm hoping it's going to be Jinx, so I bring in Tornadus in an attempt to steal away the momentum from him. And it turns out that he does switch into Jinx, so it works out pretty well for me. However, I misclick U-turn Superpower here. I would have liked to go for U-turn, but unfortunately, I guess I hit Superpower. There's no reason to, because nothing on this team is particularly hit harder, and it's pretty unfortunate. I'm not going to risk a Tornadus Hurricane speed tie here, though. I'm just going to switch out to Jirachi, pretty much sacking it, knowing that it's not going to be able to take 2 Hurricanes from that range. However, I think I make a bad play here. I really think I should have saved Jirachi, knowing that a Moongus can pretty much sponge whatever hit. I could have saved it for potential fodder later, and maybe to help me check stuff down the road if I'd managed to cleverly switch in and gain lefties. In any case, I know Tornadus is coming in now to take advantage of a Moongus, so I'm going to go to Politoed, and I'm going to hope he doesn't realize I'm Scarfed, and I'm going to go for the Hydro Pump. But he knows I'm Scarfed, and he's going to go into Jinx and just get the free setup opportunity. And now that's really, really bad because Jirachi's dead, and that's my best check to Jinx. And now I'm running on very, very, very low options. I'm just going to secret sword away the sub, but he's going to be able to lovely kiss me, put me to sleep, and that's pretty bad. Keldeo Resolution is now out of commission for pretty much the whole game. So I'm going to go into Tornadus T here, and I think I was just buying time to think in my head. And then I remember, oh wait, I've got Perish Song on Polytoad for Baton Pass change. I could just U-turn into that, and then Perish Song, obviously, and then switch out into Keldeo. So that's my plan here. I'm going to try to get off a Perish Song, bring in Keldeo, and then hopefully wake up on the turn that he perishes on, assuming I can take +2 Ice Beams. I do resist it, and Keldeo does have decent bulk at least. It's nothing to write home about, but it's not abysmal either. So I'm going to get off the Perish Song, he's going to get off the Nasty Plot, and now I'm going to bring in Keldeo. Hopefully take 2. He's going to hit me with Ice Beam for 52%, and leftovers is going to heal me up to 53, so I'm thinking, alright. He's going to hit me this turn, I might be able to survive, and then hit whatever he wants to bring in with a Hydro Pump or Secret Sword. Unfortunately, however, yeah, min-max variation, not going to work out in my favor, and Keldeo is going to go down. So, it's okay though. I know if I dangle Tornadus in front of him, he's going to want to stay in, and I really do need this Jinx out of the way. So I'm going to U-turn out into my Polytoad, and I was pretty confident he would go for the Ice Beam there because Tornadus is really the most threatening thing to his team by far at this point with his Latios Sleep. So I figured he'd want to remove it as an obstacle and just clear a path for, say, his Keldeo. But in any case, I'm just going to have Polytoad in. He's going to bring in Tornadus, not entirely sure why. I was just going to go for Hydro Pump fairly regardless. But Keldeo's going to come in here. He predicts the Amoonguss switch in, but Hidden Power Ice does a measly amount. And I notice he doesn't gain leftovers, so he might in fact be Choice Scarfed Keldeo. Sounds a little far-fetched with already a Scarfed Latios, but it's entirely plausible, I suppose. So I'm going to bring in Polytoad now, and I'm going to go for a Hydro Pump, because Hydro Pump. And I'm going to hit it 40% on his Polytoad. Now, we have a speed tie here, which means he's got a Choice Scarfed Polytoad as well, because I am Timid Scarf to outspeed Tornadus, and he wins that speed tie, but I win the second one, and it doesn't matter too much in the end that I won that 50-50 coin flip, because we saw from the damage that it would have done about 40%, and the only thing that would mean is that I couldn't really come into, say, Keldeo's Hidden Power Ice as easily if he would go for it. But we're coming into a really fun end game here, because essentially, if he brings in his Tornadus at some point after sacking his Latios, which is what I'm expecting him to do, and then he wins the speed tie, my Scarf Polytoad can come in and check him, but if he switches out to Keldeo, I'd be in trouble, so I'd switch out to Amoonguss, and he'd be in trouble, because I could get off a free Spore and then go to town from there. However, if he double switches to Tornadus on the Amoonguss, I'd be in trouble, and unfortunately, I don't win the speed tie, so that fun series of mind games never gets to play out. It just got to play out in my head as I was thinking about the upcoming turns. But he's going to manage to revenge my Tornadus T. No reason to not leave it in at that point. Just good sportsmanship, really. But Polytoad's going to come in here and just clean it up with 2 Hidden Power Grasses. So that was a really fun game. Fuga, and I'm sure your channel link will be in the description. I had a lot of fun playing you, and I hope you guys watching on Project MoshPit have enjoyed this. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe to Project MoshPit, and see ya.